Blackstone Audio presents A Wild Ride Through the Night by Walter Moers. Translated by John Brownjohn. Gustave Doré, French painter and illustrator, born Strasbourg, 6 January 1832, died Paris, 23 January 1883, displayed an outstanding talent for drawing as a boy and lithographed sketches for a history of manners in his 10th year. He moved to Paris at the age of 13 and was employed as a caricaturist by the Journal pour Rire 2 years later. In 1854, he published his earliest illustrated work, Rabelais' Gargantua and Pantagruel. This was only the first of the numerous series that made him one of the most popular, prolific, and successful book illustrators of the mid-19th century. His inexhaustibly fertile imagination and exceptional facility led ultimately to the grotesque lack of moderation that marred his last major work, the drawings for Ariosto's Orlando Furioso, A Wild Ride Through the Night. It was dark when Gustave put to sea. He preferred to travel by night. In any case, visibility seemed unimportant to someone who had no idea where his voyage would take him. The sky was enshrouded in clouds as black as ink. Now and then a star or the moon's pock-marked face would peep forth, shedding just enough light for him to see the ship's wheel in his hands. Gustave had read somewhere that it was possible to get your bearings at sea by observing the position of the stars. He wanted to master that art someday, but at present he had to rely on his instincts. "Hard a port!" he shouted and spun the wheel to the left. Was port on the left or the right? Did a ship turn right when you turned the wheel to the left, or was it the other way round? Temporarily brushing these questions aside, Gustave spun the wooden wheel vigorously so as to give his crew an impression of grim determination. "We'll never outrun it, Captain!" Dante, his trusty, one-eyed boatswain, had come up behind him. The experienced seaman's voice was trembling with fear. "We can't possibly outrun it, can we?" Although Gustave was only 12, the crew of the Aventure looked up to him as if he were a giant, even though they had to bend down to do so. Kneading his cap in his calloused hands, Dante regarded his young skipper with a look of hope in his lone eye. Gustave turned to face the wind and sniffed it. The air was as warm and moist as it tends to be before a violent storm. "Outrun it!" he called over his shoulder. "Outrun what, my faithful Dante?" "The storm, Captain, or rather, the storms." "The storm?" said Gustave.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?